What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the multi-part series of why I left the Seventh-day Adventist organization. This is Examining Adventism. And for those of you who are new to the channel, I'm a former fourth-generation Seventh-day Adventist who was raised in the church. My dad, a head elder. I was educated in their institutions. So what caused me to leave? Stick around and find out. And with that said, let's jump in. The foundation of the Adventist doctrines is built on a bizarre and unbiblical church history. And before we get started with this, I cannot emphasize enough just how important it is to understand just how bizarre and twisted and unbiblical the Adventist church history is. Simply exposing the inaccuracy of the Millerite prophecy alone should be enough to abort the entire message of Adventism, especially when we consider the fact that Adventism came directly out of the Millerite movement. But before we get started, we should first point out what Jesus said in Acts chapter 1, verse 7. And he said unto them, It is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power. In other words, Jesus gave us a direct command not to be guessing at when his second coming would be. As many of you know, much of the Adventist doctrine sprung from the direct influence of a layman Baptist farmer named William Miller. So basically, William Miller erroneously interpreted the idea of the heavenly sanctuary being cleansed in Daniel 8:14. And after some extremely convoluted calculations, Miller arrived at a date of 1843 as the second coming of Jesus Christ. Then the Millerite movement adjusts the date to 1844 after Jesus didn't return in 1843. And since the Millerites thought that Jesus would come back, and after being wrong several times of Jesus' second coming, people didn't gather firewood for winter soon arrival, they didn't gather food for their cellars, and so many of them froze, and many of them died of hunger. Others went off and became deists, atheists, and agnostics, including William Miller himself, who became a deist. So the Adventist church was born out of this strange Millerite movement. And I think for most viewers out there, it's clear that the Millerite movement was strange quackery and unbiblical in trying to use Scripture to guess when Jesus' second coming would be. So the question we would then have to ask ourselves would be, can something righteous come out of something that was unrighteous? Consider that throughout all of Scripture, there is not one example of something holy that came out of something that was unholy. Never in Scripture do we see any account of something with unholy and vile beginnings turn into something that is holy and righteous. Jesus said, Beware of false prophets, who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? Even so, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a bad tree bear good fruit. All right, if you found this video helpful, check out my part 2 video on this series. Please, don't forget to like my videos and hit that subscribe button for more videos like this.